Hi, my name is Pat Naoum. I am a game developer from Sydney. I've come from a background of art and film and design, and now I'm making games. I'm based here in Sydney in central, near the station, and it's a great place to kind of work and a bit of a community hub that's brought up around games and indie games specifically. We're kind of coming in slowly behind Melbourne, and but it's getting better and better. I didn't choose here because of games. I'm just found myself working here and hoping that we can get somewhere better. So the Master's Pupil was a hand-painted puzzle game, and so the process of making it was essentially me heavily hand-painting for long hours and constructing a puzzle game slowly but surely. But it was a long process, took about 7 years, but it was a fun one. 7 years is a very long time, obviously, to make a game. Starting in my spare time for the first 3 odd years, and then the second 3 years I reduced my time freelancing so I could kind of move into part-time development. Eventually I got a Screen Australia grant, which enabled me to work essentially full-time for about a year or so just before release. So I came into game development from fine arts and the film world. So I was originally making artworks, making paintings at uni. I was also at AFTRS, the Australian Film, Television and Radio School, and working in film. But I found games to be a much slower process, much less compromise with kind of budgets and timing and crew that you have to assist for film. It was an art form I could make by myself in my room, crafting away something, and that was just so appealing in so many ways. Someone little can make a little game, and it's not something that you need a massive big studio to make. If someone indie makes a movie, it's not really seen in a large context. It's not seen against a Marvel movie. But the importance of games, especially indie games, is that they sit next to large games on Steam, on any kind of marketplace. And that enables small artists to make small games that make a massive and large impact. And because, small indies can make big games, the importance of kind of funding this example and funding more voices to create more stories is just a way of adding to our culture. Sydney is like a truly international hub. It's kind of one of the only ones that we have in Australia. We have this kind of pool of artists and game makers and hugely talented people. And the main problem is that they're going elsewhere because we don't have the kind of resources to kind of hold them, or we don't have the community that's growing. The indie community inside Sydney and inside New South Wales, to put it frankly, needs cash. We need funding. Making games is difficult, it takes a long time, but it can be done by 1 or 2 people. Any kind of funding goes a long way for that environment. New South Wales is behind the curve. Melbourne has had a lot of funding for a long time, and the world has had a lot of funding for a long time through games, but Australia's kind of behind. So any kind of help that we can get is massively game-changing because it gets us ahead and caught up to everyone quite quickly. For the next 5 years kind of looks exciting, but it's also scary. I want to be able to grow a small studio. I want to try and expand my practices. I need to pull in more people. I need to kind of develop a studio practice. We're trying to combat all sorts of, economic world fluctuations. So trying to get a studio up and running is spooky, but it's very exciting.